Wait for a gapper.
That is fair. Down the right field line. Giambi on his way to third, and they're going to wave him around. The throw misses a cutoff man. Shot out of play.
When you think of all the memorable plays Derek Jeter made in his career, besides those that involve gift baskets, the flip, as it's known, is probably the one that stands on top of the list. However, it's a play that might not need to have happened at all. Could it be that the throw was going to beat Jeremy Giambi at the plate anyways, and that Jeter's odd run across the field was completely unnecessary? In this video, using math, science, and Google's measurement tool, we will try and answer all of those questions. Especially this one. Did Derek Jeter really need to make this play? Is coming up right after this.
There's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. But let's talk about the world that matters. Yours. When it's time to dive into your head and escape from all the noise, you need quality earbuds that don't break the budget. That's where Raycons come in. Raycons start out at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market. The sound is amazing. They come in a variety of colors and patterns. The company was founded by Ray J, and Snoop Dogg uses them. The everyday E25 earbuds drive out all the distractions and have 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, and a compact design for a lovely noise isolating fit. Heard enough yet? After this video, head on over to buyraycon.com/5points and get these already low priced earbuds for 15% off. Again, click the link below and get 15% off your order. It's your world, baby. Raycon.
It's 2001 and it's a tale of haves and have-nots. The Yankees have won the last 3 World Series and are looking for their 4th straight and boast the highest payroll in the major leagues. The A's, in the height of Moneyball, have a payroll 1/3 that of the Yankees, which ranks 29th out of the 30 MLB teams. However, it's the A's that have won 102 games to the Yankees 95, and the two teams are squaring off in the ALDS, a 5-game opening round series. This whole season has been weird for baseball. The Mariners winning 116 games, the season being delayed for 2 weeks due to 9/11, and the underdog, upstart A's, taking the first 2 games of the series in New York, looking to finish off the mighty champs inside Network Associates Coliseum. Trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th, the A's were pitted against future Hall of Famer Mike Mussina, who has gutted out 6 2/3 innings of shutout ball. It's an easy formula for the Yankees. Get a lead, get 7 innings out of Moose, and hand the ball to Mo Rivera. The A's have only managed 2 hits up to this point, and finally they get a base runner in the form of Jeremy Giambi, a 2-out single to right field. And that brings up Terrence Long, the left fielder who is having a productive year and a great series. Before we get to the play, we have to understand a little bit about how the A's roster is built. Though they have power and hit 199 homers, they actually lead the majors in doubles with 334. That might be due in part to the Coliseum, which is a notorious pitcher's park. It's a curious choice not to pinch run for the slow Giambi, as he is in the lineup as a DH. But of course, he's only on first base. Why would you take a big bat out of the lineup in what looks like an innocuous situation against a guy who is throwing a 2-hitter? But as we will see, all of that will change in one pitch. Of course, Terrence Long doubles into the right field corner, tantalizingly missing the fence and foul ground, which would have undoubtedly resulted in a triple and a run for the A's. However, the ball bounces into the one area of the Coliseum which isn't that roomy, and right fielder Shane Spencer, who remembers that guy, fields it and unleashes a throw. Whether it's a good one or not, we'll decide later. Spencer overthrows both cutoff men, Soriano and Martinez. However, Derek Jeter, supposedly out of position, runs across the diamond and cuts off the throw anyways and relays it to Posada. Giambi is called out, ending the inning. So we have a ton to unpack here. Number 1, Jeter has no business being on the right side of the infield. Or does he? In a standard tandem relay scenario where there are already 2 cutoff men, a shortstop's job is usually to cover second base. However, the Yankees worked on this play in spring training, and Jeter said his job was to actually watch Giambi and then to serve as a 3rd cutoff man. Wait, what? They planned for this? Well, he made a great read as Giambi, running with a piano on his back and nearly exhausted as his roid-filled legs are running out of gas, is obviously not very fast. The one big admission Jeter has made is that he did not intend to relay the ball into the plate, and that he actually was there to try and get long at third, which would have likely been an easy out, but also would have conceded a run. Jeter's athleticism saved a run and maybe the series. But did he need to do it at all? So we need to determine something. Would Shane Spencer's throw have made it to the plate in time to get a slowing Giambi had it not been touched by Jeter? We can attempt to figure this out through math, though I'm sure some really smart people will yell at me either way. I will try to make this as easy to understand as possible. When Spencer gets the ball, he is 302 feet away from home plate, and when he heaves it, it travels 221 feet in the air before it bounces. All that happens in 2.5 seconds. Now, if we want to be lazy, that would mean the ball just traveled at the rate of 88.4 feet per second, but we all know that the velocity isn't constant and that the ball is decelerating rapidly as it ends its journey. In fact, after the bounce, it travels another 38.5 feet until it reaches Jeter, and that happens in 0.86 seconds. And again, lazy math says it's slowing down to 44 feet per second now. Assuming, and this is probably wrong, that if the ball continued at that speed all the way to the plate, it would take 1.07 seconds to get to Posada. Compare that to Jeter, who from the time he fields it to the time it reaches the catcher takes 1.03 seconds, 0.4 of a second faster than our best case scenario. So you might conclude that Jeter did indeed accelerate the ball and it resulted in an out. However, you forgot that Giambi is a slow-ass turtle, and he doesn't touch the plate a full 1/3 of a second after Posada catches the ball. The difference between our estimate of Spencer versus Jeter, 0.05 seconds, much less than the 0.33, and therefore confirming Jeter didn't need to cut off the throw. Ha, you say. But alas, I'm wrong for a variety of reasons. Number one, like we said, the ball is slowing down, not just some, but a lot after that first bounce. In fact, it's actually on the downward arc when it reaches Jeter. Without knowing the exact angle and without calculating wind resistance, the weight and the momentum of the ball, all things too smart for my basic brain, the ball probably has 2 more bounces in it, which would likely put it outside of the tag window of 0.3 seconds. On a side note, special thanks to Jared Froman and SRS Matt, who helped me figure out that one guy cannot replace what StatCast does with a calculator. 2 things that are fascinating are that Jeter's meddling doesn't add a significant amount of velocity to the ball, but just enough. The other thing is Spencer should get some credit for his toss, as it was a decent one, and without it, Jeter doesn't get to be the hero. The alignment of both Spencer's and Jeter's throw were spot on. But even if Jeter hadn't touched it, it would have still ended up in the same place. But for me, the question will always be, when? And even if my math is inconclusive, we still have one more thing to cover. In real time, it's hard to see if Posada really did tag Giambi, who appears to get lucky and the glove go between his legs. Remember, this was in 2001, before replay, and when the ball beats you at the plate, the catcher usually got preferential treatment to whether or not the tag was applied. However, if you slow it down, Giambi's pant leg appears to move ever so slightly when the glove is in the area of the leg. So home plate umpire Kerwin Danley probably makes a good call. But whether Giambi should have slid or not, well, that remains unclear. Again, he does get beat by about 1/3 of a second, so who knows what sliding would have done. Probably what would have helped is being faster and maybe working on his wind sprints instead of frequenting strip clubs. After the play, the A's actually did get 2 hits against Rivera, a single by Greg Myers in the 8th and a double by Jermaine Dye in the 9th. However, the slider was too much for them, and they fell 1-0. The next night, they got wiped 9-2 in front of a partially full Coliseum. That tied the series and sent it back to New York, where the Yankees finished off the comeback 5-3, just 2 days after the flip. The Yankees would also best the 116-win Mariners and look like a team of destiny headed to win the World Series. Of course, the D-backs had other plans, proving there is a God. But when we look back at the flip, some questions might not ever be answered, but let's try. Did Jeter really need to cut off that throw? The answer? Probably. Either way, what's done cannot be undone, and the A's still haven't won the last game of the season, and Jeter's legacy for possibly unnecessary action continued to grow.
Jeter on the run, makes the play, and flies into the stands.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out Raycon from the link below. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.